A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular session, I'm going to be answering a very important question which has been asked to me by a lot of people already. And the question is, how do we know that we are in the final stages of the twin flame journey? A lot of people have experienced that when they start out, they actually see it as a very different concept. At that time, it's more about romance. But as and when time passes by and they grow more and more and they feel a lot of changes in their life, because time heals. At first, the separation phase looks very hard to a lot of people. But over a period of time, when they start realizing and when they start figuring things out better, they realize that this is something which was meant to happen. This is something which was predestined or pre-written. So they start doing inner work. The people who snap out of it faster and they understand whatever is happening for their good, and they accept it and they move on in their life with it, and they start doing their stuff, whatever they love, and they get out of the waiting energies. Then they will start also seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities and even physical manifestations. A lot of changes will happen in their life. These changes actually are followed by practical understanding of the twin flame ascension journey. And these changes are the changes that change people's life forever. So let's get started and let's look into the points that I've written down specially so that I can answer this question in a much more detailed manner. Let's dive into it. Point number one, a very important point, is your finances or your career will start improving. If you had career goals or if you had some thoughts about how your life would be and how you want to earn money and what type of resources you want to generate, what is your dream, what are your projects. Maybe for some people, these are business ideas that they have been contemplating on or they had been working on for a long time, but it did not work out for them. They had to choose a job which they did not enjoy. In some cases, they always wanted to do a job and not be involved in the family business or whatever business they were doing. So lots of people have lots of different plans and goals in life. But during the separation and in the runner-chaser dynamic, it almost feels like it's not going to work out. It's never going to happen. There's always a dilemma around whatever they want to do, which is why sometimes the things reach just so close, but right in the time or in the moment, they don't work out. Unexpected changes or unexpected problems take over, and the querent or the seeker is stuck in a loop of failing and not being able to come out of it, not being able to try with 100% positive energy. So all of that changes a lot, and you can see it. You can see things changing and shifting for you, and you can see a lot of things that you had planned in life before. You were not that focused. Now you've suddenly become very focused around it, and you're more free. Financially, you're freer than before. That's point number one. Point number two is you will find the purpose or the mission of your life. If you have been looking for what exactly should you be doing, what is the reason why you're here on planet Earth, because most people who are on an ascension journey, they always feel that they're here for a reason, they're here for something, but they don't know what exactly that thing is. After your ascension starts kicking in, after you surrender, you will be amazed to know that your mission will be like right in front of you, or in some cases you would be into the mission for a while and suddenly one day it'll click to you that this is the only thing you've always wanted to do and you're doing it right now. You will feel a lot of gratitude in such a situation if that happens to you. So yes, you'll find the purpose and the mission of your life. Point number three is that you will not be triggered by the past. You would be able to look at photographs, conversations, videos, anything that's from the past. You will not feel very agitated by it or very troubled by it. It will just go away from your life very easily, very smoothly, and you will not be even reminded of it again and again. In simple words, you will not get triggered by the events of your past. The ghost of your past will not have any impact on you. They will not be able to keep you up sleepless in the night. They will not be able to give you any nightmares. You will be a more relaxed and free person when you are in the final stages of the twin flame ascension journey. Point number four, you will not be interested or you'll not be drawn towards checking on other people, especially a specific person, if there was any in your mind. You'll not feel like stalking on anyone. You'll not feel like even finding out who is where and what are they doing would not be any of your concern. And the reason is that you will be so content in your environment, in your own ecosystem. You will actually make sort of peace with all the people. All the puzzles would be solved by then. So you would not have any need to go back and revisit things that traumatize you, or even things that would make you feel a sense of incompletion. Energetically, you will not feel incomplete. So there will not be any reason for you to go back and look for things that are incomplete or things that don't satisfy you even currently. By the time you reach to the final stages of the twin flame ascension journey, you are literally like a pro. Every time something will trigger you, you would straight away think about how I can fix this or how I can learn from this situation. You'll not get affected by it in a negative way. In fact, you'll be very happy that maybe a new stimuli or a new stimulus is coming up. So I should be able to figure out, why am I feeling this way? Why am I not in harmony? Why am I feeling the energy of discord? You would be able to clear yourself in an energetic way, not just in a physical way, because by this time you would know that everything is actually energy. Everything eventually is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, it can only be transferred from one place to another, which means that you can actually transmutate the energy of hatred, being upset, jealousy, anger, whatever it is, not able to accept certain things, you will be able to transmute it into love, acceptance, joy, and yeah, being happy with what you have, contentment. Anything that you feel is not your cup of tea, or anything that you feel has not manifested for you and it makes you unhappy, you're going to look into it in a different way. You're going to observe it, you're going to check it out, and you're going to find out what is the source of this problem, what is the reason why I feel like this. Is it something within of me, or is it something outside? And usually 100% of times it is something which is within you. Point number 5, you will not feel like a victim. You will rather feel like a student of life rather than being somebody who is being victimized or terrorized or traumatized by other people. You will think about the reason once again, and you will be able to differentiate between fate and whatever is action oriented, or wherever you need to take action. So for example, there are lots of things, lots of places where you would be able to clearly see that here I have tried everything, I've done everything, whatever I could, I've made all the efforts, but it's still not working out. So it has to be destined. It has to be an event which has already been orchestrated in my timeline. So all I have to do is accept it. And sometimes, even when certain unfortunate event happens, or anything that requires you to make efforts, and you know that here I need to make efforts, like here I cannot just sit and say, oh, this is because of fate and destiny. Even though you know that everything is happening because of fate and destiny, but you will be able to learn the difference where you need to take action and where you don't need to take action, where you need to just observe and where you just need to put in your efforts without bothering about what the result is going to be. You are going to put your honest and most sincere efforts into those things. So you will not be a victim anymore. You're not going to say, oh, why did this happen to me? Why did I go through this? Why me? Why me? That would either subside or it will not be there at all in many cases. But yes, I must say that we are all humans, and learning is a lifelong process. Ascension is a lifelong process. It is a lifestyle actually. Inner work is a lifestyle actually. So even if you go through certain situation where you cannot cope up instantly, you would be well equipped by the time you reach the final stages to handle those situations in a much better way. It would not be in a way that you are running away from it or you're going to be chasing it. Point number 6 is humor. You will build a humorous stance towards life, and there would be many situations where you would realize that actually humor was the best way to deal with it, or ignoring the situation was the best way to deal with it. And when I say ignoring, I'm not talking about ignoring your responsibilities and duties. I'm talking about ignoring irrelevant things, negative energy, and people just acting things out. As you can see that there are lots of people, and by this time you would be able to see that there are lots of people who are suffering from a lot of mental disorders. They really don't know what's happening and why they're acting this way. They're totally programmed. So when someone is totally programmed, you will not be triggered by their actions or their existence or their presence. You would simply understand this as something that they're meant to go through. It's their karma. They did certain actions in the past or in the past lives, and they have to reap whatever they've sown. So it will not bother you, it will not irritate you, and you will develop, happiness around it also, because you would be able to see how temporary things are and how irrelevant so many things are, and yet We put so much of our effort, our own efforts and energy into it, and when we get out of it, we can also see other people doing the same things. They're putting their energy and they're putting a lot of effort in things that don't even matter in the timeline. They won't even matter in due course of time. And where they should be actually putting their energy and efforts, they're not doing that at all. For that, they're just simply waiting. They are in waiting energies. They're just hoping that things will shift or things will work out. Or in many cases, people keep doing the same things for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and still they're not able to get what they wanted from it, and they're not able to understand this simple point that maybe they need to make certain changes, because they've been doing the same thing literally, ritualistically, for such a long time. They're ritualistically doing the same thing, but it's not yielding the result that they want. So then they don't want to think like, why is this happening? I'm doing everything that I can, but it's not working out. Whether it's romantic situation, whether it's non-romantic situation, whether it's family matter, whether it's business, anything of that sort, people would become more intelligent and wise in understanding how to apply the wisdom that they have learned from the metaphysical domain, from life itself. It would be much easier for them to do so, because they will actually understand the practical way of being an objective observer of situations. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people face in the twin flame ascension journey is obsession. A lot of people notice that they're obsessed by someone's specific thoughts all the time. Literally, they feel like that person's thoughts don't leave them at all. And a lot of people even say that, how should I deal with it? How should I remove these thoughts? Or how should I go away from these thoughts? I don't want to get distracted. But there are some people who actually love to roll into positive situations and thoughts, in the world, in their own thinking world. They have a lot of positive situations, like them meeting, dating, eating, going out and whatnot, being intimate and things like that. So they keep thinking about those things. They want to think about those things, but always remember that all good thoughts are followed by negative thoughts, because our mind works in only 4 different ways. And if you look at the broad categories, one is either you'll get thoughts of past or you'll get thoughts of future. Either you'll get positive thoughts or you'll get negative thoughts. So these are the 4 places it keeps jumping on, like a monkey mind. That's why they say monkey mind, The reason why this term was coined is because of this fact that the mind acts like the monkey. People jump from one thought to another, another to another, another to another, just the way the monkeys jump from one branch to another, to another, to another. So this will clearly stop. You would not like to pay attention to any thoughts that distract you from the present moment. And that's how, when you keep doing this continuously as a practice, you will soon realize that you have started building a sort of expert role in it, or you're actually very, very confident of it and you're very good with it. But the bigger thing is actually the experience of being in the present moment. You'll soon realize that being in the present moment is very healthy. It feels amazing. You feel extremely like you're on some kind of a high. You'll feel, without any drugs obviously, you'll feel very content, very relaxed. You will see how world is, other people are spinning around, delusions and illusions, and you would actually be free of so much of the drama in times to come. Obviously, by the time you reach union, you have gained control over it, and that's why you're in union. One of the key reasons of union is that you've got the power to disassociate yourself from anything which is in the tomorrow or in the yesterday. And this is one amazing thing that will happen in your life. You will no longer be distracted by other people's thought or thoughts that come from the past or the future. And just in case you want to think that, what about planning out for life? So you would be more wise actually. You'll be an intellectual, but you'll also have wisdom and you'll also have spiritual know-how, because you've already surrendered to source. You will understand that certain things require planning and certain things don't. And again, as I said, this will not be so complicated for you. It will be very simple. If you feel that, no, I'm spending too much time, planning about this, but the way I'm planning about it, it's not really working out. You will not also plan too much in advance. Like, for example, we see so many human beings, so many corporations, so many plans, insurance, this, that. It's all based on future events. It's all based on what is going to happen 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line. Even the banking system, whenever I visit my bank, they always make me sit in one corner and they keep talking about some kind of plans that I can take. But I always ask them that by the time I would get the profit or I'll get the interest, how many years would it be? And they say, oh, it would be, say, 15 years later, you'll reap these many benefits and you'll get all of this interest money. So when you actually sit and calculate, you do realize that after 20 years, the way they are going right now, even the value of things will become higher. Even if you save, say, X amount of money, the cost of living would become so high that it would almost be the same. But if you work on yourself, if you work hard, especially in the metaphysics world, you would realize that there's nothing to worry about, and we create our reality on the basis of who we are inside. Our energy outside is literally the match, an exact match to the energy within. So what you see outside is simply a projection of your inner world. And if you realize this, you will not be so insecure and you'll not be worrying about what happens next in next 15 years or 20 years. But yes, there is one thing which is why a lot of people are in the ascension journey, or they are twin flames or star seeds. That's because they are biologically, when they are born, they have certain qualities in them. Even as a child, they were not like other children. That's why they would spend time alone, or that's why they would be doing other things that other children are not doing. So all these things happen also because these kids, since birth, they possess certain qualities in them. They are not that attached to what's going to happen. So it's very important for them all to go through this separation phase in twin flame journey. Only then they will realize that this separation phase is also an illusion, like so many other illusions on planet Earth. Next point is, you will be connected to nature like never before. You will see how nature runs the whole world. It's not human beings who run the whole world, it's actually Mother Nature. But human beings have been acting like a virus in the last few, you can say, 1,000 years or more maybe. They have been acting like a total virus. Why? Because viruses usually consume any resources that are available or present in the area that they habitat into, and once all the areas are consumed over and done with, they move from that place to another place to find another such place. That's not living in an interdependent world. That's living in a codependent world, and also very selfish and narcissistic world. Human beings are changing, they're going back to their roots, which is definitely, we can see it, how so many environmentalists and so many animal lovers and so many people who practice unconditional love are also doing wonders on planet Earth. So this happens because even planet Earth knows how to keep the balance going. There are certain people who are meant to live in a very negative or low frequency reality, and Earth provides the right platform for their karmic actions and their karmic results. Whatever they did, they reap it here. And people who are on a path where they are basically neutral, they see everything as a part of it, like in yin yang or in union situation, no more duality, no more separation, everything is okay, everything is great. And there are some people who are doing a lot of positive actions because they've built up a lot of positive karma in their bank balance or in their karmic balance. So they are living a lifestyle, they're living good lifestyle, they're eating healthy food, they're dressing up well, they're waking up on time. Even if they're not waking up on time, some people are here only to reap certain materialistic benefits and joys, and once it's over, they go back. So you see everything on this planet. You see the richest of the rich, and you see the poorest of the poor, and you also see the realistic person, the realistic people who don't believe in any of this, and they are happy with whatever they have. So you'll definitely be falling into the middle path soon if you are into the final stages of the twin flame ascension journey. Next and most amazing point is that you will start looking at the separation phase as the best thing that has happened to you in your whole life. You don't obviously remember what all happened in childhood. And if you have certain psychic abilities, if you get visions, that's like for a really advanced stage. I'm not going to get into that. Then yes, you might be certainly aware about certain things. There are people who are able to study the Akashic records. There are people who are able to read energy, read auras. There's so many people can do so many wonderful things, make like very exact, accurate intuitions, do channelings, do paintings, create music, create magical musical tones that can heal other people. There are wonderful things. I mean, I can actually go on and on and on this. However, you will realize that a lot of knowledge will actually start seeping into your system when you start seeing the real benefits of separation. Till the time you're upset with the separation and you're in waiting energies, it's very much difficult for you to actually grow and be on the other side and see beyond, whatever you're seeing right now. You'll not be able to see beyond it. But as soon as you start entering the final stages, after surrender stage, we have illumination, we have harmonization, followed by union. When you enter these stages, surrender, illumination, and harmonization, these are the final stages. These are the stages where you will start actually thanking God for putting you into separation. You will thank the person who put you into this. You will literally be thankful to every single person who was involved in it, and you will be able to see things in a much more accurate and correct way. Earlier, you were seeing it from the eyes of attachment. Once you remove those glasses of attachment, you will be able to see very clearly why you're in separation in the first place. And the length or the duration of separation, you will make peace with everything if you have spent too much time in waiting energies. Next point is that you will be easily able to reject people or situations without feeling any guilt or shame, and also wishing them well if they don't fall in tandem with your plans and with your projects or with your mission or purpose of life. Even if a specific person comes back to you, but they are not in a very suitable situation or a desirable situation, or they are basically committed elsewhere and still they want to come back to you in secrecy or in a clandestine format, you would be easily able to say no to them without feeling any remorse. At the same time, in your heart, you would know that you've done a good thing for them, because by showing them the right thing to do, by showing them what loyalty should be like, you will be actually able to set a benchmark for people who don't know anything about it. You have to understand that people who are involved with you, even romantically, and people who stay away from you or go away from you or reject you, despite knowing that you're actually good for them, they are heavily programmed and they want to follow the path of ego. Those people want to live their life as per the guidelines of the programming patterns they have, and they are not bold enough, brave enough, or courageous enough to come on the other side. They want to keep it easy and they want to keep everything, all the things in their control. So when they approach you, sometimes they also approach people after surrender stage. When they approach you, they will probably ask you, things like, hey, we can do this, I love you and you love me. By this time, you will also learn that romance is simply an illusion. Romance and lust are illusions, and you would want to stay away from it for as long as you can, and you'll always stay away from it. You would never want to be into the clutches of romantic illusion and people who just say a lot of nice things, but actually they're very scared. They're just trying to feel more secure. A lot of people try to be puppet masters, and a lot of people are manipulators because they're actually very insecure. They feel very scared of following the right path, the correct path, because they feel that if I follow this way, I'll never be able to get what I want, and that is to control other people and to have control over their life. And I'm not saying it's absolutely wrong to have control of certain things in your life, but you don't need to practice any kind of controlled behavior or controlled mannerisms. If you are surrendered to source, you are so content. You become so content by that time that you don't really care so much about anything, how this will work out, how that will work out, what if I'm alone, what if I can't do this, how will I survive, how will I make through this. You don't have any of those fears, because these are all low frequency fears. You would not have any of that, so you would not be needing any kind of planning, politics, or any kind of manipulation. And with this, I also come to my next very interesting point, the big change that you will notice, that you will be a good judge of character, and you would sense or smell manipulators from a distance, and you will not get trapped by them. You will not believe in their sugar-coated language, or even whatever politics or planning they do on a lower level or a higher level. Whatever they do, it will not impact you at all. You will not feel sympathetic towards them, and you would also not indulge in things that waste your time hanging out with these manipulators. Manipulators can be anyone, but you would be able to understand which type of narcissism pattern they fall under, or what type of problem are they facing, because of which, what kind of insecurity they have, because of which they are forcing themselves and their thoughts and their expectations on others, and also expecting so much in return, and also expecting to not do anything in return for other people. When anyone learns to value their own time, when they understand how precious their own time is, they will not waste their precious time on anything else like manipulation or getting manipulated by other people. So this is also one big change you will notice. And all these things that I've told you already, all these points that I've told you by now, these points are going to uplift your energy. Energetically, you will be such a light-weighted person. And that's why you would always be living in a higher dimension, in a better frequency, and you will be thankful for everything. You'll not be scared of the bad days or the bad situations. In fact, you would be able to check yourself or test yourself how good you are. Have you even learned this or not, or how much of a learning you need to do? And that's why I say Indian metaphysics and all the stories like Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are so important for us, because they've always shown us that even divine beings have made a lot of mistakes, but it's not like they cannot work on themselves. They can do tapas, they can do tapasya, they can redeem themselves from the sins they had committed or the mistakes they had made. Same is with the ascension journey. Ascension journey is actually a very spiritual and scientific journey. If you have made some kind of mistakes, if you have committed some kind of sins, it does not mean that there is no retrieving your pure self back out of it. You can do any of that. You can be a happy person, you can live without any shame or guilt, and you can be forgiven, and you can also forgive other people. All of that is possible if you look at whatever has happened to you like an opportunity, like a place from where you can learn from, something that you can gain from, and be able to enhance your life experience forever. Another wonderful change that will happen in your life is that you will love your own company immensely and the most. Yes, you will love your solitude, you will love your private time, and you will definitely have your own private space as well, absolutely independent, and you'll be having whatever you need in that space. It can be your professional space, it can be your personal space, but definitely you would become your own best friend once you enter the final stages of the twin flame ascension journey. In my first point, I had mentioned that your finances will improve. Here I'm going to talk about how you will look at money only as a resource, and you will not be wasting your precious time trying to amass huge wealth unnecessarily. You will only earn as much as it's required, and you'll have full faith in yourself that every time you need to create certain resources, you will be able to do it for the better, for the good of the people who are involved in the mission with you, or the people who depend on you, or the cause that depends on you, or whatever projects you have taken up which you enjoy and which you love a lot. You like to spend your time doing those things. You would not be looking at money as something which gives you social validation or a prestigious validation or some kind of a stamp in the society. Money would be important for you, and you would know that, okay, these are the certain things that I'm not supposed to do, because that would mean that I'm generating money from negative actions. But at the same time, you would be able to determine that there are certain things that you absolutely love to do, and you can continue to do those things for the rest of your life and be able to earn a livelihood from it and be able to handle all of your responsibilities and duties, because everything is coming from the masters and it's coming from the source. And because you've already surrendered, you should not have much of a worry about managing a lot of things. But at the same time, you understand that it's important to work, it's important to be independent, and it's important to do what you love on a daily basis. Harmonization is not just one of the names of the stages of the twin flame ascension journey, but it will also become a part of your lifestyle. You would be able to forgive people, you would be able to cut out people who can be forgiven but they cannot be accepted. You would be able to create boundaries. You will be forgiving a lot of past lovers or nuisance creators, or anybody who just plainly disrespected you for their selfish gains or reasons. You understand that they're insecure and they're programmed, so you let them go because you don't want to have a burden on your own heart or on your own energy body. You want everything to flow systematically. You don't want any blockages or interruptions in your energy body. Your chakras have to be aligned, and you would be very conscious and aware about these things, and you understand that these type of thoughts and these type of negative situations where you don't let go things easily, where you don't forgive others easily, where you're very hell-bent on certain things. There are lots of people who roll with certain negative situations for many, many years. you will understand that rolling into these negative feelings is actually very bad for your own mental health and for your overall life experience. If something is not working out in the moment, you would be able to let it go easily, and you would be able to think about possible situations where you are this free person, where you are this relaxed person who's already moved out to a better reality, to a different reality, and doing things that you love, being a person who you want to be, connecting with your higher self and connecting with higher powers, higher energies, and also surrendering to benevolent energy, source, your masters, and as I always say, Sri Ram and Sita. The people that you still need to work with emotionally, mentally, or financially, even physically, you would be able to continue that without getting deeply triggered by them. You would be, as I said in one of the previous points, you would be looking at situations and all of these problems as stimuli and not as something which is out there to get you. You look at things like, okay, I need to fix this, I need to work on this, and okay, this is a great opportunity for me to go to the other side to see, what actually is causing all of this chaos and drama. This point is a very important point because you will always remember that you're actually a soul on planet Earth, that Earth is a plane, it is a place like a school. We are all here to study and to advance and to learn. And at the same time, you'll also understand that everything is actually connected with Earth in a very beautiful way. Earth is not just, should be seen just as a planet, even though it is a planet in the solar system. It is one of the most important planets where life exists, because this planet is created with the perfect balance of sun and moon. Because of this perfect balance, you see life. But there is life on other dimensions also. One very important thing that you will remember is that everything is temporary. Nothing on this planet is permanent. The only thing that is permanent is the truth and certain natural aspects like the sun, the earth, the way we breathe, the way we live. Of course, there are more than what I just mentioned, but those things are already orchestrated, and it's the same for everybody, no matter where people go. In fact, there can be exceptions in these things also. There are places where the sun doesn't shine so brightly because of the weather conditions. There are places where it rains a lot, but certain natural truths will always remain eternal. And you understand that certain things are temporary. So there's no point wasting your time on things which are temporary. And this is a key thing that you come here on planet Earth to learn, and that is the balance of everything. There is balance in everything. In every extreme situation, there is a middle path, and that's what you are here to learn on planet Earth or on Earth plane. So this is where I close this particular session. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'm so happy that you are interested in this type of content because you're watching it till the end. So this means that you are very serious about inner work, and that is a really great thing. In the initial phases of this journey, in the twin flame journey, most people are only concerned about the romantic stuff. But as they start growing more and more, as they start surrendering more and more, they are more concerned and interested in inner work and ascension-based lifestyle and spiritual modalities and studying metaphysics. So if you're here, then great. I'm really happy for you, and I'm glad that you're contributing to the planet in such a beautiful way. Whenever we ascend, we help the planet to also ascend further, and since we are already in the age of ascension, we are headed towards the golden age. But you know that golden age doesn't come like that. A lot of people have to work towards it. A lot of people have to volunteer and contribute towards it. So you're one of them for sure, because you are interested in this type of content. So congratulations for also finding out that you're a volunteer, you're a contributor, and your time matters. It is precious. I will see you soon in another one. One love and peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.